Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yay,
Schefter, we apologize for having you wait around right there. That's on us. The 15-minute clock might just disappear going forward. But on that note, anything that we missed there, and the Colts are going to win a Super Bowl?
Well, the 15-minute clock has turned into a 30-minute clock, Pat. But that's okay because the Indianapolis Colts are rolling along. They are the first team in the Super Bowl era not to punt in the first two games of the season. Whoever would have thought that the Colts, with Daniel Jones playing quarterback, would become the first team not to punt in the first two games of the season. They scored on their first 10 possessions this season, scored every single time, rolling along. It seems like it was a long time ago that there was a quarterback competition. You want me to go on to the other 90 seconds here like we did last Monday, or you want to take over and follow up?
I'd love that. Well, the follow-up is that first 10 thing, also a record, and also I think they've scored 17 of, I forget the exact number, 20 or something like that, or 24, and it's the highest percentage of scoring in 45 years in the NFL when it starts season. Now, But go ahead, on you, if any of the 90 seconds have anything with Danny Dimes being the greatest quarterback maybe in the history of the NFL through 2 weeks, you can certainly add that, but we are excited to hear what we need to catch up on.
Well, who would have thought that the Colts would have a more stable quarterback position right now than the Cincinnati Bengals? But the story of the day, obviously, Joe Burrow has a turf toe injury that will require surgery. He will be sidelined for a minimum of 3 months. Typically, this is a 12 to 14-week recovery period from an injury like that. That would mean that if it was best case, the soonest he could be ready, as much as he might push, would be December 15th, and it very well could be into the new year before he's ready again. Let's see if the Bengals and Jake Browning, their new quarterback, can keep them afloat until then. But Joe Burrow went down yesterday. You knew it had to be serious. He's going to have surgery as soon as the swelling in that toe goes down, and he's going to be sidelined for a minimum of 3 months. The Bengals already have been calling around to add another quarterback. That's from a depth standpoint. But the fact of the matter is Jake Browning will be the guy. He is expected to be the guy. And Joe Burrow has taken so much punishment there in Cincinnati from the time that he arrived there in 2020. You put up the pass rush win rate right there, where the Bengals have ranked in the league, and you see those numbers. That is rough for a quarterback to absorb all those hits, all those years, and you wonder what type of cumulative effect it will have on Joe Burrow physically and mentally moving forward. So we'll keep an eye on that as that unfolds. The New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields is in concussion protocol, left the game yesterday, went out, was replaced by Tyrod Taylor. We'll see if Justin Fields can clear in time this week to get back into action. The Jets had a terribly disappointing game yesterday against the Buffalo Bills. They looked inept out there. Nobody would have thought that the Jets could look that bad, but they did, and now there'll be a question about their quarterback. And the other quarterback to watch today will be Jaden Daniels. Obviously came up a little limpy on Thursday night in Green Bay, and I think they did some testing over the weekend, and I think Dan Quinn will address the media today, and we'll see what that is, whether his status for Sunday is in question at all. Don't know yet. I don't think it's serious in any kind of way, but I do think that we're going to hear something there regarding some sort of issue with Jaden Daniels. That's my sense of things, and we'll see how that plays out. They're working through it right now.
Okay, on that note, Jaden looked unlike what we've seen of Jaden in the NFL, I think, in the face and everything on the field, certainly against that Packers team, who might be they might be the best team in ball right now.
It might be.
So that might just be the case. I didn't think I remembered him potentially having an injury coming out of there. We will obviously keep T's and P's and positive vibes for Jaden Daniels. Ankle and everybody that got injured. Ty has a question for you, Shefty. Shout out to YouTube TV, by the way. Every game, every Sunday, all in one place.
Love it. Shefty, looking ahead to tonight, do you have any update on Brock Bowers' status? We heard last week after he came out of the game, hey, he would have finished this if this game mattered. But then all this week, now he's questionable. They don't know if he's going to play. Where are we at with Brock Bowers going into tonight's game?
I believe he's going to play. I think Pete Carroll has said he expects Brock Bowers to play. The head coach himself, who's celebrating, by the way, his 74th birthday today. So happy birthday to Pete Carroll.
Happy birthday, Pete.
They expect him out there. I don't think it's a lock yet that he's going to play. Again, I go back to Christian McCaffrey last year in the opener when everybody thought he was going to play and he didn't. I think Bowers plays. He wore a left sleeve over his knee in practice, but I still want to see that he's fully and officially active before we know for sure that he's playing. But I think it's trending towards that clearly, even though they listed him as questionable.
Anything else in this game that we should think about?
Oh, there's a lot that we should think about. Khalil Mack, the former Raider, gets to go up against his former team, and the Raiders at offensive line. He'll be up against DJ Glaze tonight, so that'll be an interesting little matchup to see how that plays out. We've got these two great rookie running backs right now. We'll see how that plays out between Omarion Hampton and Ashton Genty. Justin Herbert has played very well. Geno Smith is airing it out for the Raiders. First home game for the Vegas Raiders this year. So really it's the first time that Pete Carroll has coached that team in front of the home fans there in Las Vegas. Ashton Genty making his home debut. We'll see if Brock Bowers is in fact out there as we think he will be. Should be a good matchup on Monday Night Football in the second leg of the game.
We're hoping that these primetime games remain good.
Yes. Need it.
We're starting to look at the schedule. Feels like the NFL really wanted to, put some good stuff up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want this first week to not be a dud. Let's put some division games in here. Let's put some rivalry games in here. And then we all, because I think we got caught up in a moment, we're like, yes, this is the new NFL.
Yep.
Yesterday's slate, you look around, you're like, hold the phone. Okay. Then you start looking ahead, you're like, what games are on primetime? Do I see the Miami Dolphins are on primetime?
See, that's pretty messed up. Don't look ahead. Stay in the moment.
Yeah, you're JJ McCarthy told me I got to stay in the moment. I understand. Tom Brady said I got to stay in the moment. The Miami Dolphins are in primetime here in the not-so-distant future. We can't be doing this, NFL. This cannot be what this is. On the Miami Dolphins, though, go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Tua played a little bit better. It was a game kind of down to the wire for the Dolphins, but everything that's going on over there is under a microscope, including the head coach when he's speaking at the press conferences, body language on the field, the defense. Coach started off historically. They did it as well. Allowed points in their first 10 or 11 drives. How hot are the seats down in Miami? And will Tyreek Hill possibly be on the move here soon?
Well, they essentially hadn't gotten a call as of last week. But I think what happens here is as losses mount up, as they continue to pile up, that inevitably it gets the attention of teams and they begin to start calling. Nobody had called as of last week. But if they keep losing, you know that people will be calling. Now, the Dolphins last week had zero interest in trading him, and I still think that they probably think they're 0-2, and they think they're going to be bouncing back. Now, they play on a short week, play Buffalo. That's the matchup you don't want right now. So, let's see how this goes right now. But it's not a great matchup, not a great time. They're not interested in trading Tyreek now. A month from now, there could be a different story.
Yeah, but when you put that tweet out, and you're wheeling and dealing right now, is that anything that we need to talk about?
There's a lot of going on right now. Yeah, all good.
Like what? Like what?
Stuff, Pat. Like stuff.
Oh, come on.
We'll call you Stuff. Adam Stuffer.
Stuffer.
Yeah, it's a lot of Stuffer. Adam had a lot of Stuffer. When you put that tweet out, though, about nobody has really been interested in trading for Tyreek Hill, that's a hooty-hoo, right? That's a bird call for everybody that Tyreek may be available? Or is that you literally just saying, interesting storyline that I'm learning about here?
No, I think various people have speculated, about him being traded. People have been saying the Dolphins have been getting calls. Teams have been reaching out. This team's interested. I just don't think any of those things as of last week had happened. I don't think that there have been teams that call. That's why I said to date, they hadn't received any calls from other teams, and they had no plans to trade him. Could that change this week? Sure. Is it likely to change? I don't think so. There's a short week. Miami is more intent upon turning around its season. Obviously, we all have our own feelings about where they will or they won't, but they're in the thick of it, and they think they have a good team with good players. So unless they start the game,
they don't.
No, they do.
Chris Greer's phone might not actually work either. That could be the problem.
No, he can get everybody out of town. Yeah. That's a one-way.
Can't figure anything out. He's great.
On that note, though, as soon as I read that from you, I immediately think, oh, this is the team saying, Schefter, let people know that we are definitely to date and they currently. Those two little parts right there. You're trying to make it accurate.
My wording, Pat. That's like, again, I'm trying to come up with it so that if the events change and circumstances change a month from now, somebody said, You said they weren't trading. Well, that's where they're at on this day. They're not trading him. They're not looking to trade him. We all know that things are fluid and that teams change their minds and circumstances change. So that's my language. Like,
I understand, but I'm just telling you from your Twitter account, me reading that, especially with all the people that follow you and all the people that literally, notable people with power in a lot of buildings, read your tweets and go, oh, there's a little bit of a thing over there. Let me go ahead and as soon as I read that, I was like, oh, that's drumming up. That has to be to drum up interest for the Miami Dolphins to potentially hear about Tyreek Hill. How much is he getting paid? What is Tyreek Hill?
I think like 30 a year when he signed. Anybody potentially call him trade for head coach, maybe?
What do you mean?
I mean, that happens in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I think like the Maine Red Claws are coach basketball up there, G League. I think they're calling.
Who?
For Mike McDaniel.
Oh my gosh, that is not.
That's what he was alluding to. Was like teams trading for the head coach. I said
he doesn't even know basketball. The Maine Red Claws.
Mike McDaniel's so freaking cool. He could probably figure out basketball in a day.
He's right.
Probably run that triangle offense like Phil Jackson.
Bingo.
In fact, he's going to be an offense coordinator somewhere. We all assume, but they like their team. They think they're going to be able to turn it around. Hopefully, they will be able to do that. Maybe he heads back to San Francisco. Wait a minute. Go ahead, Con Man.
Shefty, we got to talk about it. All right, you're very tied in with the Niners. I know you're tied in with every team, but when it comes to the Niners, it's like an Eagle Scout type knot when it comes to tied in. Mac Jones went out and balled out for the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan, you have reported, wanted Mac Jones in the draft. Something happened, after they trade up to 3, they end up taking Trey Lance. But Mac Jones gets into the Kyle Shanahan offense, and it basically goes off without a hitch while not having George Kittle on the field. Is it too soon to say we have a quarterback controversy? Are we a win or two away from a quarterback controversy? Because we also looked at Purdy's, contract, and his cap hit doesn't go north of $30 million. So this does almost feel like a, not a Kirk Cousins Penix situation, but if Mac Jones has a hot hand, Kyle Shanahan's probably going to continue to roll with him. Shefty, are we reading that right?
Well, they're going to roll with him as long as Brock Purdy is out. And when Brock Purdy is able to come back, they're going to roll with Brock Purdy. I don't think there's any quarterback there right now. I think it's them having a backup that they believe in. And I think he's a backup. He signed a 2-year, $7 million deal. He's the backup. He's the number 2. And frankly, the better he plays, the better it'll be for them. If they decide that, hey, he's got value in the offseason and they want to deal him, then maybe they could do that. I don't think they're thinking like that. I think that they're just thinking, look, they've had so many injuries at so many key positions. They had to rely on a backup tight end, a backup quarterback. They didn't know that they were going to have Trent Williams until pregame warmups. They're missing wide receivers. Like, this is a team that's been decimated early on. So to have Mac Jones step in and complete 26 of 39 for 279, 3 touchdowns, he looked great. He looked great. And they were saying to me over the weekend that they believe that environment that they have there elevates players. Like, they've seen players step in and perform well. That's what they were expecting from Mac Jones. And it was interesting because everybody kept talking about how awesome he's been to be around, and it's brought a real spunk and swagger to the team.
Clean
and I just think Mac Jones learned a lot going through his 2 experiences in New England and Jacksonville. And it sounds like, he got there kind of with some maturity and some experience and probably acted in a way that maybe he might not have earlier in his career. And he played great. Looked really strong yesterday. I don't know. I don't think there's any quarterback controversy there.
Okay, we'll continue to monitor it. I think Kyle Shanahan originally wanted Mac Jones. Now he's seeing what he could have had. We love Brock Purdy.
Yes.
More than anybody else. I have his costume from Ariat.
That's right.
I bought it. The thing he wore and did the 2-step or the line dance in the commercial. I thought he looked so cool. I actually bought it. But any place on earth that would potentially do this would be Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers, especially if Kyle Shanahan originally could prove, just like I said, it was. Now, on the note about Mac Jones bouncing around, you got Baker, you got Darnold, you got Geno, you got a lot of guys. Danny Dimes here, that go through whatever humbling process or maybe enlightening process that they go through in their own football journeys, in their own football lives. Mac Jones in the Kyle Shanahan offense, we all immediately were like, that would make sense, which is probably what Kyle Shanahan was thinking when he was coming out of draft. It appears if that's the case week 1, If that continues, you're saying no problem. Okay.
I'm saying it too.
You're saying the same thing as Shefty?
Same thing. Brock Purdy's the guy.
I agree.
However,
Kyle Shanahan is a guy that has done this. I mean, this is something Kyle Shanahan would do. Not saying he wants to cause any problems. There's no riff. Brock Purdy, definitely quarterback. They paid him and everything like that. But if Mac Jones is the guy he wanted a number 3 overall, they traded multiple number 1s to go get. And he comes into his system. Kyle Shanahan's guy. Tough thing, I think. 2 years, $7 million too. You know what he just saw? Somebody wants Brock, right? Yeah. We got a lot of salary cap all of a sudden. I'm not saying that it's overreaction Monday.
No, who's playing really well right now that they couldn't hold on to? Deebo Samuel.
Okay, so there's a lot. It's Kyle Shanahan.
How much Purdy's guaranteed?
182.
182.
So much money.
It's a lot.
That's including
so much money.
Including injury. So who knows what the actual total number?
No, I think that was.
All right, Schefter saying it, you're saying it. I'm in. Brock Purdy, can't wait to get you back.
He's got to stay healthy. It's good to have a good backup. In 2 years, you got a good backup for 2 years.
279, 3 tuds, 112.
This is without Kittle.
One game.
Purdy is, Kittle's one of Purdy's guys, though.
All right.
Kittle's on.
We got last question.
2-3 years of Purdy.
I agree.
Saints are tough, too.
Got 10 years on that.
Right. Last question here.
Shedeur told the Ravens no. They wanted to draft him in the 5th round, and he said, no, I don't want to be a backup to Lamar Jackson. That was a real thing?
That's a real thing. Yeah, the Ravens were planning to take Shedeur Sanders at pick 141, and that was the plan. And word got back to him that he preferred not to be in a situation where he would be in a quarterback room with an all-world superstar elite quarterback, Lamar Jackson, where he wouldn't be able to sniff the field. And so that was something that did not appeal to Shedeur, and he preferred to take the mystery behind door number 2 rather than the certainty of Baltimore at door number 1, and basically let it be known, I thank you very much, but please don't. I want to be in a place that I can have a better opportunity to play. And so, if that message had been there, would the Ravens have picked him at 141? Yes, they would have done that. That was the plan.
I want to play behind another guy.
Great history in Baltimore, that other guy, though.
Yeah, one of the goats
Joey
of the
Flacco,
other guy.
one of the other guys. Maybe learning from Lamar would be cool. Getting drafted at pick 141, is it a guaranteed that you're going to play anyways? Man, I'm on Team Shedeur, always have been. When I read this, just like Diggs, I was like, who would want this why do we have this? And I read it, I'm like, why did this happen? Then I started thinking 10 different times. If it all works out, it all works out. But if I could have the opportunity to be in a Lamar Jackson room versus any other room, I think I'd want to be in a Lamar Jackson room.
Not me.
No?
Nah, not if I'm a quarterback that feel like I'm good enough to be a starter, feel like I'm good enough to be a 1st or 2nd round pick. I don't want to go to a team that has Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, maybe Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Those are probably, I'll open the other door if I'm a guy that wants to get on. Because these guys, we expect to play for another 10 years unless something happens. And this happens usually at the back end of the draft. Sometimes guys don't want to get drafted late 6th round, 7th round. They'd rather be an undrafted free agent to pick a better destination and go in there and compete in the roster. So it makes sense from that standpoint. A lot of times this type of shit doesn't get out either.
When did he end up getting picked? What pick?
144, 3 picks later.
Okay.
Yeah, and if, to your guys' point, picking a place, with all those things considered, would you want to go to a place where you're the 2nd rookie quarterback drafted in the class?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he didn't want that either, but I would
what if he told the Browns?
He said no to the Ravens. He could probably say no to the Browns.
I'd rather be in the Browns situation than the Ravens situation.
Yeah, if
I'm a quarterback.
Yeah, but man, I don't know. That doesn't look good. I don't think it personally looks good. Only 3 picks later is good, I think, as a thing, because the complaints about him not getting picked were the thing. Now we're hearing, he told people not to pick him. How many other people did he say not to?
Yeah, good point.
So then that's the issues. Because I was like, what the hell's going on? I was part of the whole, we're not drafted. And then now we're hearing, he turned down a team to get drafted to them. And it's like, did that happen anywhere else? I have no idea. Did the Beals say, hey, we'd love to have you? No, I don't want to go there.
Panthers.
If it all ends up working out, it's good. But I hope that's the only time that happened. What if there was a 4th round team that didn't want to?
Yeah.
Or 3rd round? We don't know if that's true. It's not.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, that's what we heard, though, with, like, the interviews. Like, was he just going in and being like, you guys can draft me, I'm not coming here. Sorry.
If it all ends up working out, it's all good. Good luck, Shedeur. Pulling for you, man. Always will. All right, Schefter, we appreciate you, man. If you got any more of that stuff that you want to tweet out, we'll follow along.